esteemed guests, ladies and gentlemen, zonja dhe zotrinj, miq të nderuar. We are honored. We are truly honored to see so many friends and such an outstanding support for the International Forum on Women, Peace and Security. Thank you. Your Excellencies, dear Presidents, Prime Ministers, Ministers, WPS champions from all walks of life, welcome to this second edition of the WPS Forum. When we first met in 2022, there was ambition, there was commitment, but most of all, there was a goal. We wanted to convey the clear message that Kosovo is capable, Kosovo is ready, and Kosovo is fitting to take the lead in implementing a global agenda. It was only rightful to select the Women, Peace and Security agenda as our cause, because it does not only ensure a greater women representation in peace and security processes, but most importantly, the women and girls of my country are the genuine embodiment of this process. When I look at them, I see WPS in action. When I see each and every one of you here today, I see WPS in action. So we are making it happen. We are steadily turning resolutions and words into action. So thank you all for being part of this journey. The WPS agenda lies at the very heart of our shared vision for a peaceful and prosperous world. I see it as a beacon of hope and a guide in our pursuit of a world where every woman and girl can live free from fear and feels free to determine her own path. As they say, we all have those unforgettable moments, transformative encounters, and inspiring talks that can trigger us to pursue certain paths. I had one of those moments and meetings I will cherish forever with late Secretary Madeleine Albright at the end of 2022, just a few months before she unfortunately passed away. As always, she kept talking about what more she could do for Kosovo. And that meeting sparked the very first idea of a Women, Peace and Security Forum in Kosovo, which then turned officially into one of our key commitments as part of the Summit for Democracy organized by President Biden. Unfortunately, Secretary Albright left us, but through this forum, we will always make sure that her extraordinary legacy of women empowerment in Kosovo and everywhere in the world will always carry on. At a time when global conflicts persist and new threats emerge, the Women, Peace and Security agenda is more critical than ever. It is not just a smartly crafted policy framework. It is our commitment to rethinking security, to prioritizing prevention, and to protecting the rights of and well-being of women every step of the way, and in ways most fitting to their needs. And as we gather to discuss these vital issues, I draw profound inspiration from the courageous women of Kosovo, many of whom are here with us today. They have navigated our country through our most hurting times, all the way to becoming resolute architects of peace. Their journey has not been easy, and their victories have not been without large sacrifice. Yet, they continue with unwavering commitment to bringing down barriers and building bridges through trust, compassion, and understanding. But most importantly, in their mission, they also uplift and support other women here in Kosovo and everywhere else in the world. I can't go on without dedicating a moment to all of the girls and women currently in conflict and war zones all around the world. They stand both as victims, but also resilient survivors, embodying a synergy of vulnerability and strength. These women, caught in the crossfire of ongoing strife, endure unimaginable hardships, losing homes, losing loved ones, and a sense of security, losing lives. Yet, amidst the chaos, their spirit remains unbroken. They fight tirelessly for survival. They fight for protecting others, their families. They fight for their countries. And most importantly, they fight for freedom. So we owe it to them and to every woman and girl who is faced with the gravity and devastation of a conflict or war to make sure that their voices are heard, that their courage is seen, and their potential is unleashed. We will stand with you every step of the way. Ladies and gentlemen, dear presidents, prime ministers, excellencies, dear friends, the WPS agenda is only as successful as the strength of our partnerships and the persistence of our ambition. We can make it only if we work together. And I'm so proud and humbled to see how our joint work, our genuine partnership, and tons of hard work is bringing to life, and in this case to Kosovo, the very first regional Women Peace and Security Center of Excellence. We will say more about it shortly, but I wanted to take a moment to express our utmost appreciation for Secretary Blinken's Office for Global Women's Issues for choosing the Office of the President of Kosovo as their partner for this Center of Excellence. Your support and guidance are one of the key ingredients responsible for the success of this forum, but equally so of our joint achievements towards advancing the WPS agenda. On this note, let me make it clear. Kosovo stands as a champion of this agenda because inclusivity and representation stood at the foundations of all our efforts since day one. So this is my note of appreciation to all of our partners, all of our international partners, all of the Kosovo institutions that have worked with us in making this forum a success, to civil society organizations, security institutions, academia, the media, and everyone else involved. This forum is your forum. It is our joint achievement. So let's keep reaching new heights and make further strides together. And of course, none of this would have even been possible without the relentless work of my outstanding team who've worked day in, day out to make this forum a success. It's a small team with an outstandingly big impact. And as you might imagine, it's mostly composed of women. And some great men champion as well. Dear friends of the WPS, this edition of the WPS Forum is unique in many ways, but also because it seeks to bring a combined perspective into the challenges that women have historically faced, as well as emerging challenges that are reshaping the future of security architectures. As such, the selection of the two key themes of this edition, on one hand, conflict-related sexual violence, as well as climate security, on the other hand, is of no coincidence. In our efforts, of course, we try to address all the tests of our time, but we will also need the lessons of the past to successfully tackle the challenges of the future. In this forum, apart from leaders, politicians, experts, academics, civil society members, human rights defenders, WPS champions, judges, experts, you will also be hearing from survivors themselves, the survivors of sexual violence during the war. They will ask us to hear their story. They will ask us to be the voice of survivors. And most importantly, they will ask us to never stop fighting for justice. When you hear the stories of survivors, as many of us have, fighting for them is not just a job any longer. It's not just the work of a forum any longer. It's not just the mission of a political mandate. It becomes the mission of a lifetime. So we have gathered here today for them and for all the women and girls around the world who need us to be their voice until they can have theirs heard. We all know that whether when speaking of conflict-related sexual violence or speaking of the risks women face as a consequence of climate change, women and girls are those mostly affected. Amidst this backdrop of conflict, societal constraints and cultural upheavals that respond to their needs, that we join forces to empowering and supporting them, as well as create a safe environment for all the women, everywhere, all and for once. So let us draw strength from everything we have achieved in Kosovo and elsewhere. Let us also recognize the work that remains. In this forum, let's commit ourselves to the hard yet absolutely necessary work that remains, the necessary work of peace, a peace where women play an integral role, not just in preventing conflict, but also in leading efforts to build sustainable and resilient societies and countries. Inspired by the legacy of those women who came before us, bolstered by the courage of women worldwide, and driven by our shared values, let's not stop. We can and we will forge a future marked by peace and dignity for all. Thank you.